Hello, Gemini. Thank you for viewing me today. Welcome in or welcome back to Midnight Morning Readings. You're going to get started by doing your monthly reading for March. As we're rolling into the end of the first quarter for March, let's see what's going on. Caring connections, seventh chakra, door to romance. So you've been talking with Spirit quite a bit, and you've been asking for guidance, clarity, messages, and your seventh chakra is showing up to make sure that you're keeping that open. Okay? All right, so let's see. Any other energies? Overarching energies for Gemini, please, Spirit. Okay. So on the bottom of the deck, you have your fifth chakra, you have the world, appreciation, goddess of the moon. So your seventh chakra, your goddess of the moon, that's your sixth and seventh chakras that it showed up. But you also have your fifth chakra, which is about communication. Okay? So I really feel that you have a lot of information that you are receiving, that Spirit is sending to you, that your intuition is really kicking in with that third eye. And you're getting all of this information from Spirit, and you're trying to figure out how to interpret it, how to communicate it, because you have the world, and you're trying to figure out how all of this information is fitting with everything, because you've got the thinking woman and you've got the woman holding the heart. So this is a lot of internal reflection that you have, that you've been going through right now. So you've been really going through and saying, what is best for me? What do I need? How do I manifest a better world for myself? Or um, a relationship, or how do I do this? But it's all about your internal reflection, your internal worth, and your self-love and your self-care, and really contemplating, figuring out how you fit into the world, and how you can take all of this information and all of these messages from Spirit and be able to manifest them into something very, very strong and positive. So let's see what's in your most recent past. Oh, excuse me. I want to jump right into your messages for your recent past, but we need to jump in to see what your current influences and your challenges are that may be holding you back, not growing. Okay, so when you've got your internal, you've been doing a lot of this internal meditation, this internal looking at um, what you believe, what you hold dear, um, you know, and really doing that self reflection and these messages, you are really trying to figure out how you're going to take that information and you're going to grow as you're moving forward. Okay? Very, very intense cards that popped out, because on the bottom of the deck you have hypnotized. And this is where I think you're at kind of that conjuncture right now, doing a lot of this thinking, this self reflection, because you've been letting the thoughts and the moods and the energies of others really kind of lead your path for you, and you're really trying to break away from that and really figure out, is that who I really want to be? Because you also got too busy and too intense, and I really feel that you are just, it's almost like a pendulum that you are on, and it's either one way or the other. Either you're keeping yourself so busy that you're deliberately trying to ignore it, or you're just keeping things so thick that you don't have time to really do that self-reflection. And I think you've really gotten to that point, and you've just said, I've really gotten stagnant here, Geminis, and you really have gotten kind of stuck, and you want to move forward, and so you're doing a lot of that reflection to see how you're going to move forward. Believe in the impossible, most recent past messages. And I think that is meditate and contemplate. And this is exactly what Spirit has already talked about, is you're really doing a lot of that internal, that self-reflection of who you are today, you know, who you were in the past, and how you want to move forward. Because you're really feeling like you're just kind of doing the same old, and you're really just ready to move forward and do something else. So, past messages. Okay. So on the bottom of the deck, your dreams need a practical plan. Luck is on your side. The end of a tough cycle approaches, and I think something has happened. It wouldn't surprise. I almost feel that you've had a recent tower moment to where you've really contemplated. Something has happened in the past to really kind of wake you up from this stagnancy that you've got, because it's your dreams, your hopes, your wishes. I feel like you've put on hold. And you're really sitting there saying, okay, I want to do this, but how do I do this? How do I move forward, Spirit? And you're really trying to come up with that plan as you're moving forward, because you got confidence is the key to success. And this is a new moon in Leo, and Leo, usually the new moon in Leo happens in July. And whether it was the new moon in Leo that happened, and it kind of came to, you know, you started this thought process and this contemplation of really doing this self-reflection and meditation in July, because I believe our full moon in Leo was in December, and that was really kind of like the closing of that cycle. And so since the closing of that cycle, it started with the new moon in July, but it has really been, you really came to the decision of how you were going to move forward in December, because I'm seeing you've gotten two Sagittarius. You got the new moon and the full moon in Sagittarius. So what I feel is it started in July for you, and then it came back. That cycle closed in December, right around also the time that the new moon in Sagittarius took hold. And so now you're on this next journey of finding this, you know, this full moon in Sagittarius, of looking at this big picture, and, you know, trying to figure out, you know, you've got a win-win forecast, you know, that's in your cycle. And I really feel that as you are continuing to manifest this, you're going to see that you're looking over this whole cycle of Sagittarius from the new moon that happened in December to the moon that is, you know, the full moon in Sagittarius that is going to take place in May. So you're really in the thick of things, of really contemplating this manifestation, you know, really looking at that bigger picture of how did I get into this stagnation, and how am I going to move forward. So let's get a couple of clarifiers from your most recent past. Any other clarifiers? So the clarifiers that came out are the 3 and 4 of Swords. And the 3 of Swords, when it came out, my initial feeling when this came out was you are in this state of stagnation and kind of this frozen in time state in your most recent past, is because of some type of loss. So whether it was you got your heart was broken, or um, loss of a loved one, loss of somebody either through death or a breakup, or, some type of separation. And it really kind of puts you in this frozen state of just going through the motions every day. And you really came into this moment of really looking at things as they are or as they were, and you've really said, no, I'm not going to do this because I want to move forward. So you've been doing that contemplation, that reflection is what you did, and really just kind of taking it easy and just saying, okay, who am I? Who do I want to become as I'm moving forward? Because the Four of Swords can really just be it, with it coming after the Three of Swords, which is really that upheaval and that conflict and that constant feeling like you're at battle with something. The Four of Swords comes in and says, now it's time to rest after the battle and really kind of recollect your thoughts. And I feel that that's what you've been doing, Gemini, in your most recent past, coming into your current messages, which are magical blessings, life energy, divination, celebrations. So you're really coming into this energy of really coming back to life, in a sense of moving into a different state of your grief or your loss, or asking the question, what additional life is out there, so to speak. So let's see what current messages Spirit has for you. Messages for Gemini. Okay. So on the bottom of the deck, you have healing. And I feel that that's where you're really coming off, especially with that Three of Swords coming out and really coming through, this tough cycle, really was finding this completion, of everything, because you were really working towards moving into a state of healing. Because you got this transformation energy, this abundance energy, and this moon energy that's coming in. Moon energy is all about your intuition. It's about listening to that download, listening to what your gut is really telling you. And that's when Spirit is coming in and knocking really hard, and interpreting those 6th and 7th chakras with those messages that are coming through. And I really feel, Gemini, that as you are going through this, you have really been manifesting this, working on yourself, of really figuring out where you're at, and, healing from the past, because you're ready. You're ready. Whatever that loss was, or that place that you have been at, you're ready to come out of it. You're ready to come in and start figuring out how you want to move forward. So let's get a couple clarifiers for your current messages from Spirit. Nope. So the clarifier that came out is the King of Swords, and this is very decisive energy that comes with the King of Swords. It's very matter of factly. There is no emotions. It is what it is, but it's very, very much, once the decision is made, it's a done deal. Okay. And you're starting to come out of that, letting your grief or your emotions or everything rule your life, or rule everything. And you're really starting to find that balance, and just really start kind of setting the ground of saying, okay, I'm done. And you're letting your it's a mind over the heart, and finding that balance that you're coming into. Okay, so it's very, very decisive energy, with your current status that you're in right now, Gemini. And it's very, very strong, very, very positive energy. So as we're moving in, your incoming messages, you have the rose, the rose's kiss, a spirit of gratitude, and a great big love. And I feel that, with the Rose's Kiss, I really feel that it's you have really stopped now to smell the roses. You have stopped to take in what is around you and quit putting your blinders on and being in this sense of stagnation, because now you are actually seeing what is going on and you are feeling what is going on. And it's a very, very beautiful energy that you are coming into. So what are your incoming messages for Gemini, please? Incoming messages for incoming messages for Gemini, please. So on the bottom of the deck, you have Seeing Beyond, Broken Open, the Oracles. So with, with this Seeing Beyond and Broken Open, okay, energies, what I feel is, this Seeing Beyond, that's that sixth chakra. That's your intuition. That's your gut that's coming in. And you definitely have, the moon energy. That is your intuition. This is your sixth chakra. This is really coming in, confirming to really be listening to what your gut is telling you, because spirit is sending messages to you. And really keep in that, because you've cracked the shell. So you've had this outer shell that is you've built up over time to where you have closed off, and that's what's caused that stagnation, that for almost frozen in time feeling that you've had. And this is confirmation that you've broken it, and you're opening yourself up to feel again and smell the roses and really start to enjoy life, because you also received quieting the mind and bearing fruit. And you're allowing that thought, those feelings, those emotions to start surfacing, as opposed to compartmentalizing them and really closing them off. And that has also opened up that ability to start feeling again and seeing what is really going on, because with that bearing fruit, that is really coming in and saying, I'm ready, I'm ready to blossom. Like, I'm ready to start enjoying life, right? Because you also got Waking the Lion. And for some of you Geminis out there, you very much could have Leo in your sign, or very, very heavy in your chart. Because the lion is Leo energy, and it really talks about having strength to persevere, to be able to push through the tough times or the dark times. And it's now you have found this rekindled passion that is in that you have found, and you are really moving into that. Okay, I don't want to go back to who I was. Like, I'm really enjoying life, and I didn't realize how much I was really missing. And now you're just taking it hold, everything by the reins, and you're saying, I'm ready to go. Okay, because you also got, you know, um, you got this confidence is your key to success in your most recent past, and that was the new moon in Leo. Remember, I said, this whole cycle, for you really started back when it started, with Leo in July, and then it moved and it closed in December, but now the new fire has lit under you, and it's really come through, with the Sagittarian moon, um, that came in December. So you're really moving full force and taking a hold of the reins as you're moving forward. So let's get a couple clarifiers for the incoming messages from Spirit for you, Gemini, and see how this is coming in for you. Okay. All right. So you got several cards that came out as clarifiers for your incoming, and the one that is face up is Death. And death is about transformation. It's not, it's one of, in my opinion, it's one of the most beautiful energies that is in the tarot, because it's all about rebirth from the old. And it's about transforming, and it's about putting an ending to something so that new beginnings can come in. You also receive the Five of Pentacles, um, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Devil. And this is all about temptation. These are two major arcanas that, as you are moving forward into this, as you're moving through this transformation that you're going through, this is just caution of saying, be careful not to be tempted to go back into that shell, because it's very easy to close yourself back off, when in reality you don't need to. This is a transformation, remember, of things that you are going through, and you have the strength of the line, you have the strength in order to move forward, because you've overcome this misfortune, and now you're allowing yourself to enjoy life and enjoy the abundance and the fruits of your labor and everything that is coming in. So it's a very positive transformation that you're making, Gemini. And I really feel that as you're continuing to do this, just be careful that as you are transforming into this, that you aren't tempted by some either old habits, or developing new habits that may not serve you, whatever the issue is. But just as a word of, just as it can be cautious, okay, to everything in moderation. So let's go ahead and let's get a clarifier as far as, or a message card for how this moves into your relationships. And you got moon dust. And remember, moon energy is all about your intuition. It's about listening. It's about that sixth chakra, really focusing on that moon energy. And to have magical romance, you must be the magic. And it's really, really focusing on listening to what your gut is telling you as you're moving forward into, if you are in a relationship, if you're looking for a relationship, but it could also be relationships with family and friends. But it's basically saying, if you want to have things happen, you need to be willing to take a step in that direction as well. So for career, money and career, for this, as you're manifesting that, they gave you Buddha. And Buddha is very, very wise, really coming into that spiritual wealth, and valuing yourself and your family and your friends and those kinds of elements in your life, and really coming in and realizing what that abundance is. And that's where that woman holding the heart is all about that internal love that you have for yourself, but it's also the love that you have for others. So make sure that, for career and finance, sometimes, the zeros on the paycheck may not be as important as the time that you're getting from home. So interpret that for how you will. So let's go ahead and get a final message card from Spirit as we're wrapping up this reading. And the card that came out is action. And I really feel that that's what this reading has been talking about this whole time, is you have finally taken the steps forward to break out of that stagnancy, of breaking out of that day-to-day same routine protective shell that you've put yourself in, and you've really made an intentional decision to move forward. So I really feel that with this message today, Gemini, that you are on this very, very positive and a path of refinding yourself and moving forward and breaking that outer shell to be able to discover who you are, who you want to be as you're moving forward over this next month or so. So that is your reading. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it helped you in some way. Please leave comments in the section below to be able to tell me how this message or parts of it may resonate with you, hit that like, subscribe, and share button on your way out, and we'll see you back here next time, Geminis. Take care.